Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Michael, KE4EST, back with you here again, and today on the bench we have a Heathkit BR-2 AM broadcast band receiver. And this came out around 1953 and went up to around, I looked it up one time and can't remember, I think it was 58 or 59 or something like that when they discontinued it. This here's wood, but I'll show you in a minute. We turn around, you can see the wood more. Well, this one here I've had in the back of my mind for a long time. You know, a lot of the radios you got back then, the AM broadcast radios, and you know, some of the cheaper shortwave radios, and it had a shortwave band or two in it also, was the, you know, all American 5s or all American 6 radios. This particular one I knew of that had a transformer. This is not a transformerless set. It does have, you know, of course it should have a transformer for the audio output, you know, but it's also got a power transformer in it. So I always thought that was really neat. Well, the guy come across this. I didn't have to pay a whole lot for it because he said, I don't know anything about it. I don't remember. He got it from his wife's dad that died or something, out of the back of a corner of a room or whatever, I don't know, or an attic or something like that. But anyway, because he said, I think the bulbs in it are rolling around or something's wrong. That's what he called it, bulbs. He didn't say tubes or vacuum tubes, or he didn't even call them valves. He said the bulbs are rolling around inside of it. So he didn't try plugging it in or nothing like that. As you can see, I want to show you just like I got it. Well, get it next to the, get over here next to the microphone. You can hear that rattling around. And I was putting it up here to, well, you can hear that. And this screw fell out of the bottom here, but you can see that's wood. That right there is definitely all wood. It's got all of its feet still. Well, I guess it's got two, and somebody's added two different ones or something. But that's wood. You know, this here's not been finished, but this up here, well, you can hear that. Let's bring it around here. But you can hear that, and you can see the dial indicator, the needle, you know, is not there. This would be the, this here, you're on and off over here. You can't see out of camera right now, but this here's got to be the band tuning, but feels like it's turning something in there maybe, but there's nothing there. And the little plastic piece here has come loose a little bit. Let's turn it around here. Look on the back. Now, I do know this one's got a jack here on the back so that you can plug in another unit, and it's got this jack over here and this switch. Well, let's see. Wait a minute, what's that jack? Now that jack don't look right. Okay, somebody's added something maybe for an antenna, external antenna maybe. But this here's where it should be. You can use the audio amplifier section in this radio, flip this down, and it bypasses the front end of the radio, and you just use the, I don't know if it's just the audio output tube or the drive around the audio output tube. I have to look at the schematic, but, and then you can plug in here phonograph, you know, and or something like that, say your record player or something back in the day. And if you just had a, you know, standalone record player and it don't have speaker or anything like that, or audio section, you know, its own audio driver speaker, you know, combo, you can just plug it into this, and this will take the line out of that and amplify it. And you, it's kind of inconvenient to reach behind the unit and flip it, go to radio and flip it. It'd be nice if they had it on the front. And you can plug your phonograph in over here, and if I remember right, that on off switch on the front will control the radio and this switch here too, so you'll turn off your record player or whatever. Let me get the Let me carefully get this other screw out of this thing, get this thing out of this cabinet, and we'll have a look at it then. I've got the screws out of the bottom, or the screw that was left, and don't forget, when you're doing these, you gotta take knobs off. Don't be trying to pull on it and mess something up. At least it's got the original knobs. Alright, let's see here. Let me get this out now and I'll come back. Alright, so I've got it out of the case here. And you can definitely see the dial cord's missing the indicator, but carefully tip this up. You hear all that falling. Yep, there's the bulbs. The 1286, that's normal. Should be a 12BE6 in here somewhere. That one I can't read what that. Oh, wait a minute. 12BA6. Oh, is that it? And we got this. And you see, at least it's there. It's kind of bent up, and you see how easy it is to bend, straighten that back out, but it's all there. Missing a spring. But okay. Oh, wait a minute, that's what fell out over here. Well, there's one of the springs right there. Okay. But where's the tubes at except for two here? So not sure about the story on this, why the tubes are out or whatever, but I will say, look how clean that is in there. And there's a little bit of dust on it, surface dust. But I mean, it's clean, it ain't rusty or anything like that. And there's that power transformer I was talking about. So it looks like everything from the top side's here except for, I know these things had issues with these IF transformers they used. It's got two different ones. First I thought this one was missing a screw, but down inside there's a hex nut, or a hex thing to turn. And on the side here, you see right here, this has been bought an aftermarket. They've bought and stuck in there. And the tin capacitor looks like it's nice and smooth and not dragging or anything's hitting there, so that's good. Okay, now another thing, you take one of these apart, you need to be very careful of. For one, this is going to have high voltage in it, of course, so be very careful messing with this, especially if it's been plugged in. If something ain't draining these caps right, especially the can over here. You stick your finger in the wrong place, it'll zap you pretty good. It can hurt you pretty bad. Wow, look how clean this thing is. You see that? Put the light on it a little better there. Maybe move it around. Looks like this, it's still got a shine to it. Almost like a mirror. That's pretty good. But anyway, what I was going to say was, and this one already looks like, yeah. You got to be careful handling these. Especially this one. Because it's got this speaker sticking out the end here, and you grab this or something and go right there and break that, but this one's got a tear in it. I'll see if I can find another one or something, or maybe try to repair that a little bit, since if I repair this one, it'll just be probably just be a showpiece, or I'll stick it, a shelf queen or something. I won't use it for everyday service, so it won't hurt if I maybe try to patch that. Maybe I'll see if I can find another one. I've got all kinds of junk parts, and I think I've got one of these or one similar to it out there anyway in storage. But let's see. But everything looks original. Everything's there. It looks to be everything's there. You can see some shielding here, so it's got like spring here. This is shielding around the. See, like coming on this audio wire and coming down here, and There's some up in here you can see. Yeah, I guess you can't see if I put the camera on it. You can zoom in a little bit there. See this shielding I've got across the wires here. Instead of using some kind of coax or something, they just run the wires through these. And they should be all, yeah, they're tied, they're all soldered down here to ground each end. So there's that. It looks really clean there, look at that. There's your audio output transformer up here. And there's this plug. Let's see. Let's put the camera down a little bit here. Power cord's coming in. One straight to the rectifier tube here. This is going straight to this plug on the back. Then we got a wire going up to the transformer. And the other side of the transformer is coming to this side of the plug, which is, oh wait a minute, that's what they're doing. That's a tie point. They're using this as a tie point right here. See this right here? Bring one side of the line cord and this tie point, unused. It's an unused pin on the tube socket. And then it's going to this wire, which is obviously going to go back up to the power switch. Yep. The power switch comes back on this orange wire to here and on into the transformer there. You can see the bottom of the transformer. So, yeah, this is switched, and the radio switched with that switch on the front. So there it is. There's the Heathkit BR-2 broadcast receiver. And it looks good. So, it don't even look like it's got any time on it. There's no full of dust where it's been hot, you know, and the hot tubes, you know, causes dust to pull in around it. So I'll have to go through and check all these connections, check all the resistors. The good thing is these resistors are Allen Bradley style. That one, that one, that one, that one. Yeah, every one of them is Allen Bradley style. Well, let's see. Get my spectacles here. This one, yeah, it's Allen Bradley. So let's try and change that 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 capacitors there. And this here is your death capacitor, as they call it. It's going from one side of the line here. Maybe you can see that. Bring you in here a little more. You can see that's going from one side of the line right here to ground. So if this was to go bad, we'll make this chassis hot. So that'd be bad. So we'll replace that with the safety capacitor. There. Also notice this wire here, dry rotted, this little grommet here, it goes to this to hold this. I guess it's dry rotted or something over the years. But there's that. Now let's have a quick look. I've got the schematic here. So let's look at that a little bit here and see what's going on with this thing. I wish the schematic was drawn the other way. Makes it better for HD camera, don't it? But, alright. Power coming in through a switch. See, they're not even showing that export wiring way down here, and I'm trying to figure out what. See, down here we got some like alternate thing here. I guess it's on in the book here somewhere, but You can see all these filaments come off of this. There's a filament winding for 12 volts. Every one of them except for this 5Y3, and it's got its own winding going here, and then the AC coming in here and the DC coming off here. Here's your high voltage winding. They're not showing, I was going to say is they're not showing the switched outlet, but I guess you don't really have to on schematic. Going through your capacitors and resistors here. 220 microfarads. There's a 0.05 there bypass. 4700 ohm, 15K, 2 watt resistors. That's about normal. So we're feeding our high voltage up. Let's see. One high voltage here says A. Okay, that's, yeah, going over here. And that will go on up to the audio section there. This is coming up here. One through your IF. Down into IF amplifier. Feeding, that's where it's getting its high voltage from. And this is point C, which is over here, getting a lower voltage here. It's coming into this grid here and feeding these here on this 12BE6. Yeah, 12BE6. I thought that's what it would be. As you get your first detector and oscillator all here, this oscillator section. Got your coil. There's your oscillator coil. Right here. So come through here. Now I want you to look at something. See these capacitors right here? These are mica capacitors that are inside of the can, the IF can. And I wish they hadn't done this, but if these go bad, this one's got another one, looks like. Because see this dotted line here. I hope you can see that all right. This dotted line showing the can. And here's two. So this one's got 1, 2 capacitors in it. This one's got 1, 2, 3 inside of this can. And a lot of times they'll go bad and have to pull everything apart to change them out. So we'll see about that. Let's see, going through your first stage. Here's your second stage. Or like, you know, input and output on your 455, I'm guessing. I don't see it marked anywhere, but it's probably 455. Your IF coming in here, your output. Then you see right here is the detector. Pins 5 and 6 on this tube being detected. And this other side is audio amplification, which is going to drive your power amplifier here, and they're using a 12A6, or you could use a 12V6. This is 12 Alpha 6. You could use a 12 Victor 6. There. Then you got a capacitor here across the audio output. Transformer that'll have to be replaced probably. 2. That should be. Yeah, that's this one right here, this green one. I know that you can't see it good, but I'm looking back and forth at the bottom of the radio as I'm going through the schematic. And then here's your output right here to the speaker. So pretty simple schematic. Your volume's off down here. Coming in, and you can see this tuner output. Did I get that wrong? Tuner output. Here's that switch on the back. It's got 2 sides to it. Tuner. Oh, okay. If you flip it one way, it's going to be a regular radio, but it's also going to have an output going, so you can go to a tuner if you want a bigger power amplifier than what this little speaker is. I thought it had input too. I have to. Well, I don't want to take your time up. I have to study this a little more here. What else was I going to tell you about this? Something I was going to mention. But there's that. So I'm going to go through this, replace everything, and come back in. Maybe I can lay this like this. And that might even have been better to start with. Look at that. I'm over here. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah. Look how clean that is. Look how shiny that is. That's just amazing. I sure hope this thing ain't got a lot of problems and works okay. That's pretty neat how clean that is. You don't see them like that very much. You sure don't. But anyway, yeah, I won't bore you with going through the schematic there. It's probably in the book here somewhere. Maybe I'll look at it just a second here and I'll edit it. Well, I do see 455 kilohertz oscillator. Let's just read this first section here. Maybe you can't see it good, but I'll read it. Although low in price, the Heathkit BR-2 broadcast receiver is soundly engineered and is capable of excellent performance. Careful chassis layout, straightforward circuit design, and specifically selected components contribute to this result. The phono socket at the rear of the chassis can be wired either as a tuner output or a crystal pickup input for a phonograph reproduction as desired. Okay, so you can wire it either way. Complete instructions regarding both methods of wire are furnished within the manual. Okay. If the BR2 is wired as a tuner, it is only necessary to connect a shielded wire between the phono socket and the rear and any amplifier having a tuner or crystal pickup input. The switch at the back of the BR2 must be placed on the downward position when the unit is used this manner. The BR2 will operate as a conventional receiver when the switch is up. Okay. Well, that answers that question. I thought, well, I'll just go in post and clip out some of the video and see if I can find it, but it can go either way. Okay. All right. So let me go through this thing, change out some capacitors, check out some components and all that good stuff. And when I come back in the part 2 of this, I'll see if I can fix this up and clean up what little I have to clean, not much. And we'll go through line this thing up and see how good it works. And until the next video, this is Michael, KE4EST 73.